You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
It's not my very favorite version of Oliver. Do you know what my favorite version of Oliver
If
is?
you don't say Oliver and Company,
Right.
I'm walking right
Yeah.
the fuck out.
Exactly. That's why I'm looking at my Billy Joel friend.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, like,
'Cause
why should I worry?
I was gonna if you didn't say Oliver and Company.
So I got a question.
And you got Cheech.
You got
I know you're a big Billy Joel fan, and this has nothing to do with Star Wars.
You're right.
Where does Why Should I Worry rank in your?
Oh, it's top 10.
Oh, easy.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
that
easy.
song.
I think as a kid for me, I think that's my gateway into Billy Joel. Like I'd heard Billy Joel before, but I think like when I became a fan when I heard that in like '89,
So here's what's funny for me.
'88, where it was.
Oliver and Company came out.
I think it was
Love that movie.
88.
Right? Between Cheech and the guy playing Dodger, who I
Right.
had no idea that was Billy Joel.
Right.
Yep.
Until
And then you got
3 years after I became a giant fan after going to the Stormfront concert in like '89, right? I went to the concert and realized that he sang all these other songs that I liked because We Didn't Start the Fire to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm 12 in '89. We're 12
Right.
in '89, and I said he came to Syracuse, and I was like, can we go see him? And my parents were like, sure. I mean that's not Metallica. Absolutely, we can
Yeah.
go, right?
So was that your
yeah.
first concert?
That was the first concert I chose to go to.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They took me to Burt Bacharach, like, early, like
No shame in that.
well,
Burt wrote like all these great songs, so there's
Yeah.
no shame
but
in that.
and I only remember that because I remember Raindrops.
Right.
But
Falling on my head. Butch Cassidy's on his skin.
so we went to that, and after I remember being shocked that he played "We Didn't Start the Fire" like the fourth song into the concert.
Right.
And in my 12-year-old brain, a person's most famous song comes last.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could not figure out why in the hell his most famous song was
To this
fourth.
12-year-old was
To
like
this 12-year-old who had
no
who
idea.
had 2 albums to his name that weren't Disney albums. He had this, which was the second album he'd ever bought,
Right.
and his Belinda Carlisle "Heaven Is a Place on Earth" was the first one because she
Like-
was pretty on the cover.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand why his most famous song was fourth. And then enjoying the rest of the concert, people are going crazy, lighters are going crazy, and then he leaves. And I was like, okay. And my parents were like, you got to wait. There's usually an
There's
encore.
usually yep.
I was like, okay. And he comes back on it and does another. I think he did New York State of Mind.
Right.
I was like, I don't know that song. Great. At that point, he goes off again. He comes back on for another encore, and he does, I don't remember, probably Scenes from Italian Restaurant.
Right.
And then he leaves, and I was like, are we done? He's like, my parents were like, no, there's got to be one more encore. And sure enough, like 5 minutes later, after 5 minutes of standing, hollering,
Screaming, right.
cheering,
Yeah.
he comes back out, and the opening, and Piano Man starts, and I went, oh, he sings a song?
Also, he sings Piano Man for his encore. That's bold.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Well, on the Stormfront tour,
I mean,
yes.
yeah.
It's bold.
Yeah.
It's bold.
But
but
yeah,
that's Billy Joel.
I also remember really being very upset during that song. Again, 12.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't even sing the whole thing
Ah.
because every time the chorus came out, the
Audience.
audience
sang
sang it.
Yeah, because you get that audience participation.
Because it's Sing Us a Song, You're
Right.
the Piano Man. So you want to talk about bold,
Right.
looking back at it, man, that's even more oof. Because literally thousands of people are telling him to sing us the song.